Hey, welcome back, everybody. We're continuing our Retro.HK 2017 Developer Diary coverage. Right now, we're joining us with Jochen from Tiny Thor. Hi, Jochen.
Hi.
So, what do you want to tell us about Tiny Thor? You can see we're playing it right now. Is there anything you want to tell people about this this demo of this unreleased new action platformer game?
Yes, basically it's a game I'm working on for several years now. It started back as a game for Ludum Dare. It's a contest where game developers have to do a game in 8 hours. And it turned out quite nice. So later I released a mobile port with more levels of it. And after a year, I came back to it and thought, we should do this a little bit bigger. And then that is where the version started to evolve you are playing right now. We're having now graphics in there from Henk Nieberg, which is a very famous pixel artist, and I'm a huge fan from him since the early years. And what's unannounced yet, but what the final game will also have a full soundtrack from Chris Hülsbeck. And yeah, this also I'm very excited about it because I'm also a fan from Chris' work since the early Amiga years, and I haven't heard anything yet, but I guess it will be awesome.
All right, and what platforms can gamers expect to see Tiny Thor appear on?
Yes, the main platform is obviously Steam and on PC, and we will also have Mac OS and Linux ports of it. And after that, we will look into the development of the Xbox version. And we hope to bring it to as many platforms as possible, but it depends on how the game will perform, and if there are enough fans who buy the game, we will do as much platforms as we can.
Awesome, awesome. So maybe you could tell me a little bit about some of your inspirations behind this game. As I look at it, I see, it kind of reminds me of the 16-bit era with a little bit of, like old school PC gaming thrown in. What were some of your main influences when creating this game? I really like the art direction here.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm a big fan of old platform games on Super NES and Amiga. I like the Metroid with Mega Man, Mario, the usual stuff. And yeah, this is where the inspiration comes from. And it's like I always wanted to do a game like this, and finally I'm now very close to finalize it, and so yeah.
Okay. All right. And another question I have for you. I run a kind of humble YouTube channel called I Remember Gaming that deals with actual memories of video gaming. What's one of your most cherished video game memories growing up, or something you could tell us about gaming in your formative years that kind of made you be a gamer and make it a career?
Okay. Well, yeah, it was when I was into computers at the age of 8 or so, and my father had a PC with 20 megabyte of hard space and something like that, and I wanted to own an own computer, and I saved a lot of money for a child, and we went to MediaMarkt, and I saw this Commodore 64,
Yeah.
And was blown away. Wow, look at this graphics. And I immediately want to buy it, but my dad stopped me and said, let's have a look at the MS-DOS PCs. And I was not interested in that. And we walked around, and then there was a demo of an Amiga 500, some space 3D Starfield demo or something like this, can't remember right now. And I was blown away once more, and I knew I had to buy this computer. And I did, but I wasn't able to afford a monitor for it. So I had a computer, but I wasn't able to use it. And a month later or so, I bought a used monitor that was already 20 years old or something like this. But
was it color or monochrome?
It was color, but it
a
lot
perfect.
of green tones in it.
Awesome.
Yes, and then for the first year or something, I just played every game I can get, and then I thought, hey, how can someone do this awesome stuff? And yeah, with some friends, we tried to do games on ourselves. We had no idea how to do it because there was no Google or something like this. You had to figure out all by yourself with some books or something like that. And but it was a lot of fun. Yeah.
Awesome memory. One more question for you. So when did you start, when did you conceive Tiny Thor? When did you first think that you wanted to make a game like this? Like, how long in the making has this been? I mean, even in your mind, when did you first decide this is something you wanted to make?
I wanted to do a platform game like this since ever I can think of, but it was really it started really at Ludum Dare. I think it was 2014, and I had a little prototype of the character throwing a stone around, and a friend of mine. He instantly said, "Hey, let's make this Thor," and he throws the hammer around, and yeah, this was how the idea started, and yeah.
Yeah, the mechanic actually feels really good as you throw the hammer, have to return the hammer as it bounces back, and as you actually have to catch it over and over. It actually reminds me of a game called Soccer Kid. Do you remember? Where you had a soccer ball and it was your weapon, but you also had to make sure that you didn't lose it because you could find yourself rather defenseless otherwise.
Yeah, right.
So one last question: what would you actually like to leave our viewers with as far as what makes Tiny Thor special?
For me, it's the graphics by Hank, and the final game will have the music by Chris. So this is very special for me, and what you can not see in the demo yet, but the game has some progress in it. So now in the demo you have the hammer, you can lose, but in the end of World 1 you will get a callback hammer, who is a little bit like a boomerang, and from there on you power it up as you progress through the game. So in the end it's a lot of action. You have a plasma spreadshirt and something like this, and more enemies are coming. So it evolves from a Mario-like game to a more action-driven gameplay at the end.
You know, that's perfect. We've been playing this throughout the convention today, and that was one of the first things we both said is, wouldn't it be awesome if the hammer would come back to you? So that's exactly, that was like the only, I wouldn't say complaint, but that was the only wish we had while playing it. So that's perfect thing to hear.
You can try it if you press the tab key, I think, in this build. I don't know. It should open the development console, and you can enter callback hammer with braces and a semicolon, and you should get it. But yes. I don't know if it works.
Well, it was really great having you. Really appreciate it. We want our viewers to check out this gorgeous new little game when it comes out. When?
I hope by the end of this year.
By end of the year 2017.
Yeah.
Come check it out at Retro.HK 2017. We really appreciate it, and it's been an honor to talk to you, Jochen.
Thank you.
All right. Bye.